that even mean, Bowers Game
Here,
Corner?
YouTube, I'm back again for another gameplay video, another solo gameplay video. And this time I'm excited to be playing the Knights of King Frea, which is going to be coming to Kickstarter very, very soon. This is for 1 to 6 players, ages 14 plus, take about 20 to 40 minutes to play. And the first thing I want to mention is this is the prototype version of the game. Take everything you see here with a grain of salt. It's going to look nicer, fancier, shinier when it gets to you. Also, if you're interested in the Kickstarter, that Kickstarter link is down below. Now, first thing I want to mention is that I'm going to be playing a solo version of the game all the way through. But I'm also going to be explaining what's different between the solo version of the game and the multiplayer version of the game. So hopefully you'll have a little bit more of a feel of the game. Now, the game is all set up right now, but let's first talk about in-game conditions so you know what we're playing towards. Now, there's two different ways that the end game can be triggered. Either the AI can trigger the end of the game, or we can trigger the end of the game. The AI will trigger the end of the game if we lose 5 rounds, because every time that we lose a round, they will get a gold coin. We'll also draw a little bit of energy, which is great, so losing a round is not necessarily terrible. But if the AI gets 5 gold coins, that will immediately trigger the end of the game, at which point we will do scoring. And yes, you can still win the game, even if they trigger the end of the game. I have done it. Moving over here, this is how we are going to trigger the end of the game, which is by completing 4 of the 5 challenges. You'll always start with 5 in the solo version of the game. Now, in the multiplayer version of the game, there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots different more challenges. And they're different, diverse. Some will have you discarding money, some will have you discarding cards, or some will have you doing a variety of different things. And it's one of the most interesting aspects of this game, and quite honestly, in my opinion, and honestly, one of my favorite aspects of this game is that this, in a multiplayer version of the game, would actually be community challenges that anyone can complete even when it's not their turn. So you are always active and thinking in this game because you're going to be doing stuff on your turn, but you're also going to be doing stuff on the other player's turn. So if we complete 4 challenges, that will trigger the end of the game. So let's take a look at the challenges we have right now. Discard 3, and this symbol means energy of the same value. Now, this is a good time to talk about energy cards. So we start with 7 energy cards, and these will have numbers on them because this is a ladder style game. I think that's the best way to say it, where essentially you're either going to be playing numbers that are higher than the other player, or if you flip this around, and we'll talk more about that in a second, lower than the AI players. So discard 3 of the same value, discard 3 coins when another player has at least 3 coins, and discard 4 of sequential value. So first, let's take a look at our hand, because we could discard this. Whoa! We actually got super lucky. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, which means we could complete this objective. Now, this is a relatively easy objective, which is why it's only going to gain you 2 victory points, but still good to know. So let's walk you through how the AI turn goes, because it's very complex, super complicated. They draw 4 cards, and then you're done. It's actually, I love the simplicity of that. That's the AI's turn right there. They draw 4 cards, and now you deal with it. Now, one more kudos I do want to give them is that in addition to having a lot of these different objective cards you complete, they were nice enough to put in these little 1As, 1Cs, the 5 to 6 players, all that stuff. It's a very easy game to set up, which I do enjoy. And another thing I do want to mention is that we only have 5 cards that we're utilizing here, but this is the pool right here of solo player cards, challenge cards. So you're always going to have different solo challenge cards. And once again, that could be something that potentially comes, they might have more with stretch goals or expansions, all sorts of various different stuff like that. You know how Kickstarter works. So 5, 4, 3, 8. Now let's talk about the spell cards for a little bit. Typically, in the multiplayer version of the game, spell cards would do a wide variety of just crazy, nonsensical stuff. They change the rules of the game. They do different actions, various different things like that. Not quite, I would say almost Flux-ish, but not to that extreme. Flux can be, absolutely ridiculous. People drawing like 50 cards or something crazy like that. But it allows you to trigger different rules in the game, which is really kind of neat. And honestly, this is where the permanent rule would go. But for us, we're just going to use that as a spot to put the AI's gold. So what do we do with spell cards in the solo version of the game? Well, it's really quite simple. If you discard 1 spell card, you can draw 2 energy cards, which is super good, because drawing energy cards, you don't get to do it too often. You typically only get to do it if you get rid of all the energy cards in your hand, which is also very, very good, or when the AI scores a gold, because then you get to draw 2 cards. All right, so the other thing you can do, discard 2 of them, and then you can flip this right here to go from you have to play cards greater than what the AI plays to you have to play cards less than. All right, so let's take a look at our hand, see what we got. So we do have the 1, 2, 3, 4. We could play that. And then we have 1, 7, 3. Not particularly great here, but I see a way that we could make this work. If we used our 2 spell cards to flip this and make it so you can only play less than, then we could do 1, 2, 3, 4. We could complete this challenge, and then we could go 1, 7, 3 and beat at least the dummy 3 times. So let's talk about how beating the dummy works. So if you beat them 4 times, then you're going to get yourself a gold and a spell card, which obviously is spectacular. If you can beat them 3 times, then you'll get yourself a gold, which is good. It'll prolong the game. And if you give less than that, and pretty much if you get less than that, you're just going to play none, then they get the gold, but then they get to draw 2 cards. And those are the only 3 outcomes that can come from a round. So I think I will. Let's risk it for the biscuit. I'm going to flip this right now, spin my 2 spell cards, which is really valuable, but I'm going to discard this, because you can do this pretty much whenever you can do this whenever you want in the solo game, unless it says otherwise, and some of these will say otherwise. Discard these 4, which means I have now completed the discard 4 of sequential value. Awesome. And then I'm going to just draw another one, which is very valuable. Discard 1 reputation at the end of the final phase. That's actually fantastic, because the reward you get for not having any cards in your hand is that you get to draw back up to 7, which is great, but you also gain a reputation. This is the only way you're going to get reputation in the solo version of the game. So awesome, which means we will actually be able to complete this. Discard 1 at the end of the final phase. Fantastic. So we've gotten our 1 gold, because we're able to beat them 3 times. All these cards get discarded, and then we draw back up to 7. Now, if we had not decided to do that, then we wouldn't get to draw additional cards. So let's just say we would say, we don't want to discard those 4 of sequential value, and we just play those 3 cards. Our hand size would be 4 cards right now, as opposed to the 7 that it is. So now we'll back onto the AI's turn. 2, 9, 5, 7. All right. Ooh, what are we going to do here? We need... Whoa! Discard 3 of the same value. We are seriously getting lucky here. So we could discard 3 of the same value right there, which I think we do. I mean, that's easy points. Wow. This is going a lot smoother than the last 2 games I've played. But once again, that could potentially happen, because every single time you're going to have different conditions up here. Awesome. All right. Now, the new one. Discard 3 spells and $1 when another player gets $1. Ooh, so now I need to kind of focus on getting some spells. That's going to be hard. And discard $3 when another player has at least $3, which means I'm going to need them to win some rounds, obviously, in order to complete that one, which is fine. So I look at my hand and I say, all right, I cannot do this one right now. My numbers are too high. I cannot get lower than the 2 or lower than the 5, which means I just take it. I say, you know what? Give it to you, AI. Discard everything. I don't draw a spell. I draw 2 energy cards. We flip over 4 more cards. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Don't like seeing that 1. Don't like seeing that 1 as well. You know what? I'm not even going to take a look at what we got. Oh, did I get 3? No. Actually, it doesn't even matter what cards I get now, because none of them are impacted by this, at least. It still matters because I need to win these rounds. But, seeing the 2 1s and the 10, I just say, whatever. Just hand it to you. That's all right. That's all right. And I've played about 4 or 5 solo games of this now. I do enjoy it. Spoilers. But once you start to get the gist of the game, you'll look out there and be like, oh, nope, not even going to play on that. All right, so I also forgot to draw my 2 cards because I lost 2. All right, so here we go. 3, 2. So this one, I think we don't have a 1. We need to get the reputation. Oh, this is not good. Not good. We need to get a reputation. No, we have the reputation. We just need the spell cards. We need the spell cards, which means we still need to complete all 4. So since we cannot complete all 4 here, and we cannot, obviously, we don't have 2 spell cards to flip that over, I think we're just going to eat this one, and we'll say, you know what? We'll catch up later. Now we're getting into a little bit of the danger zone, though, here, because they have 3. Oh, I don't like that 3. Give me a 10. Like it. All right, so I think now is when we pounce. 1, 2, 3. Did I draw additional cards? I don't think I drew my 2 cards there. Keep forgetting. Boom. So we got ourselves a nice little hand size here. And we got some great lower cards as well. All right. And I think I might have accidentally cheated. I didn't remember if I drew the 2 cards. I'm a little bit lax of sleep. I got a new baby. All right. 8. Bam. 5. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Now we don't have and we have a 6. Actually, that's kind of perfect. So this is a no-brainer. We do this. Boosh. We have beaten them, which means we get the gold. But more importantly, we get ourselves a spell card. We're trying to get 3 spell cards. It's going to be very difficult, though. Unless we get lucky. We could use a 10 right now. We could really need to use a 10 right now. 9. It's high. 9. Like that. Can we do this? I think we can do it again. Oh, no. So we go 5, 7, 3, 2. Now, one of the rules of the game is you can never have less than 3 cards. Because if you have less than 3 cards, well, then obviously you couldn't beat the AI. So we are going to draw an additional card. And we'll do that, yeah. So we get ourselves a coin, and we got ourselves another spell, which means we could use it to flip it to higher if we wanted to, this card. But realistically, we're trying to get this right here. Now, discard 3 when another player has at least 3. So we can actually do that right now if we wanted to. But I think we'll hold off on it. Because we can complete these 2, guaranteed. So we're going to get at least 4. And that would trigger, well, this one we can't do until the very end of the final phase. But yeah, let's see. Because we can get all 5 of these if we can get ourselves 1 more spell. So having 3 cards, that's going to be rough. So we need to get rid of all of our cards pretty much. Draw back up to 7. All right, I think we got this. I'm feeling good. 4, 6, 2, don't like you, and a 3. That's rough. That 9, we can only play 2 cards. Which means discard all these. Yikes. Danger, Will Robinson. 4 gold coins, which means we're 1 away from triggering the end of the game for the AI. But we get to draw 2 cards. Want to remember that first. 8, 6. That's garbage. And then flip over 4 new cards. All right. Discard 3. Discard 3 when another player has at least 3. So let's take a look at our hand real quick. 8's going to go here. 6 is going to go here. 5 is going to go here. That's actually perfect for... Oh, and we can beat them. We can beat them. We did. We did. I didn't think we were going to do it. I'll be honest with you. I was very pessimistic. But we just did it. We got a gold. We got a spell, which is the important thing. And we have less than 3 cards, so we are going to draw back up. But honestly, I don't even care at this point because when another player gets 1 coin, so as soon as they get that, we're going to do this. And that's going to happen. All right, so I'm going to, first thing, discard 3 when another player has at least 3. So that works. Boom. We've completed this. Awesome. We now have 3 of our quests. 2 more up here. This one will trigger the end of the game. But the only way we can trigger this one is if the AI wins. That stinks. So we're going to let them win right here. I don't even know why I flipped this over. We're just going to let them, and actually 8, 8, 9. We were going to, yeah, that was a pretty terrible draw. So we're not going to do anything. We're not going to reverse. We're not going to draw any cards. We're just going to say, you know what, AI, you win. And they're like, aha, I win. I'm so clever. And I say, ha, are you really? Because when another player gets 1, they just got this. We're actually now going to discard 3 spells, and our 1 gold, which is booyah, means we win this, which will also kind of trigger the end of the game as well. But then at the end of the final phase, so this is the final phase. We know this is the final phase because the end game has been triggered. We're going to get rid of this reputation we got right here. And bam! Take that. And now we go to the final end game scoring, which once again, very, very simple. For the AI, you're going to have 2 points for every gold coin they have. And they also gain the victory points for the highest challenge we didn't complete. So let's pretend that these 2 challenges were up here. They would have 15 points because they'd get 10 plus the 5. However, since there's no challenges up there, we crush them. we did get some pretty lucky draws there. They only have 10 points. Now for us, we score the total on, so 4 plus 5, so we're at 9, 12, 14, 16 points. But you also get 1 for any unused reputation. But we used our reputation to complete challenges in this particular one. So we have gotten 16 to their 10. And we are the king. We're the winner of the Knights of King Frea. Now, the only other thing that I do want to mention real quick, because it's staring me right in the face, are these cards. You say, you didn't even use those cards. Yeah, these are only for the multiplayer version of the game. But these are going to be blind date cards. And these are different in-game scoring conditions. So there are different ways you're going to be able to score points at the end of the game. But not everybody might know these, because you either have to pay a gold to peek at these, and a gold can be a really big deal, as you see, because I have 0 gold left in my coffer, or if you complete a certain number of challenges. But that's for the multiplayer version of the game, and that has its own different ebbs and flows. But that's the Knights of King Frea. If it looks like it might be your cup of tea, be sure to check out that Kickstarter link down below. Tell them Bowers Game Corner sent you. Also, in the comments below, let me know, what's your favorite ladder-style game? Because I really do like ladder-style games. And I know somebody's going to say, this isn't technically a ladder-style game because blah, blah, blah. And you might be right. But I played the one that was like Ladder 45. I really like that one. Years and years ago. I think I got the wrong name of it. But let me know some more ladder games, especially if there's some heavier ladder games, because I like the concept of ladder games. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Bye-bye.